Okay, I want to explain myself for a second, and the reason I want to share it here is because this thought just kind of occurred to me as I was doing this, and I thought maybe if somebody's in the same shoes or trying to work out the end of the year, this might be helpful to them to hear it. So take it or leave it. But I actually in February decided to basically start math over with one of my kids. And I just felt like there were a lot of gaps and we were really struggling. And so I did. And we switched curriculum in the process. And I thought, I'm just going to start from the beginning and we'll work fast if we can work fast, and we'll slow down when we need to slow down. And it's been great. I'm so thankful that we have the flexibility to do that at home. As we get close to the beginning of our next year, I've been thinking a lot about when is she going to finish the first grade book so that she can move into her second grade book. So I decided to make this little fancy chart here to figure out what lessons we could get done each day and kind of where we would end up. As I got towards the end of the book, I'm looking through the teacher guide and it says, don't worry so much about memorizing this. It's going to come up again in second grade. And I thought to myself, well, that's interesting. What else is going to come up in second grade? So I pull up the second grade book for Math with Confidence because that's what we're using. I go online and I look at the table of contents, the different units, and discovered something very interesting. And that's what I want to share with you. Okay, so this is the first grade Math with Confidence. This is towards the end of the book, and I just want to show you this. Look, you've got +9, +8. Down here, you've got -8, -9, -6, -7, and some mental math. Now, let's go to the second grade. This is what I pulled up online. This is the beginning of second grade. The whole first unit is review. Here's +9, +8, +7, +6. And then down here is -9, -8, -7, -6. Do you see how they are exactly the same? Okay, so obviously if you were going to take this huge break in a summer, it might be beneficial to redo those lessons the way that they have it, at the end of the year and then at the beginning of the year review. But I'm not trying to do that. We're basically just schooling right through. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to cover it now. We're just going to cover it in second. And so that shortens my time period so much of trying to get this book done. It takes a lot of pressure off of me. It's just going to come up again. And on top of that, I'm not super worried about it either, because let me tell you this, the strategies that she's teaching for those facts are the same strategies that I'm teaching my upcoming fourth grader in subtraction facts that stick. So you can see how the grade level thing is just ridiculous in homeschool and how easy it is to manipulate it. What a blessing to be so flexible. I say all this to encourage you not to be afraid to look ahead, see what's coming up. If you're really feeling pressure to get all these pages done at the end of this year, are those same pages going to come up in the next book at the beginning of the next grade level? So it's just something to be aware of and to think about instead of checking all the boxes. How is your time going to best be used? So obviously, I probably should have said this first. You want to make sure you're following your state laws. Don't break the law here. But I don't know, this was just such a relief. Like after today, I sat here for a couple of hours while my kids played and planned all this out and had all this thought. And before I make any final decisions, I have the second grade book on its way so I can really see it and make sure, okay, is this going to be the right decision? So I will be looking at it more deeply, but I just feel such a weight off to not feel like I have to do every little thing. Some final thoughts. If you need a reason to homeschool, moving at the pace of your child is one of the most incredible things that I've ever experienced with homeschool. This situation is exactly an example of that. We got to February. I saw that we needed extra help. We stopped. We started over. And here we are able to move at her pace, quickly through some, slowly through others, to where we're going to be able to finish it and start her second grade here at the beginning of a usual summertime. I actually struggled at the end of this year because I felt like I had to take this last day of school picture and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself to do it because my first grader was still working. My third grader was already starting her fourth grade math. And so it was like, what do we do? What is this the last day of? So I'm just like over the grade level thing and just so thankful for this experience.